All right, so we are back for our final installment here with the Todd Rose and Leave, and we have got the most beautiful spread of food before us. Thank you so much for doing.
It was simple, as you saw. It was my pleasure.
And that's what's exciting is that it's it's beautiful and it's impressive looking, but it's not pretentious and it's not hard to do.
No, and no one has time, so this is perfect. It's great date food. If you say, come on over for some wine and appetizer, and then we'll go out to dinner. Hello?
Yeah.
How impressive is that?
If they don't fall head over heels with you just by the smell, I think when they taste it, it'll be...
Food and love go together. That's always my motto. Healthy food and love, not healthy.
No.
So we love you occasionally with this food.
Well, this is fall in love food. This is sustained love
I like
food.
the distinction, fall in love food.
It's different.
Because once you're together, then I'm, cooking much more
healthy.
healthy.
We're getting fat anyway, so, keep it real.
That's right, that's right.
So let's go ahead and start trying some of this. Do we want to start with the brie?
I think we should start with the brie, and I want to tell people, don't be afraid to rip things off the brie. And also remember that you have the sticks here as well, and I'm going to hand you one. And literally, you just sort of pull it apart, and you can see, if we cut a little bit of piece out here, that things are a little oozy. Now we let this roll for a while, and feel free, just dip it in, really.
Dip it in there,
and it can't go wrong. And then instead of double dipping, we provide a little bit of knife. Although I did hear a rumor, a statistic that double dipping really does not.
Really?
I did. I heard that.
There's an entire Seinfeld episode about that.
It does. I think that my mother was smart by letting her 3 sons eat. Oh, you liked it. You liked it. Yeah. Hold on. That's not bad.
No.
And I've had it many times.
That is delicious, and that's the sweetness, the sugar, and the nuts, and just that going with the salty, kind of sharp the brie taste. It's
perfect.
That's wonderful.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But the thought about my mother and the baked brie is that she figured that if you were having people over, they should fall in love with you because of your food. And she was a very strong believer in that. And I think it works. I think having good flavors, making what you eat an art form. I mean, I'm a busy guy, but I got to tell you, Ricardo and I cook almost every night. And it starts with chopping garlic. There's something therapeutic if you can make the time to get into your kitchen, even for a half hour before you throw it in the oven. Because sometimes you can throw it in a casserole dish and let it bake. Baked chicken breast, with rosemary and olive oil and garlic.
Just chop some of that
so
up and
good.
throw it in there. And I think there's something about cooking with people too, where it just, it's if you're cooking with friends, if you're cooking with loved ones, you're getting in there, you're creating something, and you're also, it's what makes you survive. It's
totally
you have to eat,
and
so
it's bonding.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I'm never totally prepared for a party, and as you can see, the space works out well because my friends come in, they sit down, we're having some hors d'oeuvres, we're having some wine. If I'm still cooking dinner, and before you know it, one's chopping this, one's grabbing that.
Sure.
It makes it a much more exciting thing.
That's the way to do it, absolutely. Now, if I can ask, what is a food that you really like to eat either, before a performance and then after a performance? Because I think you gotta go light beforehand.
I usually like most of the time, truly. My daily food, I eat a lot of chicken. I love a steak every now and then. Ricardo really enjoys seafood. So most of the time, it's things with fresh ingredients that count, that are bought at the store, brought home, not in a box, not in a package. We definitely believe that eating greens every day is exciting. And don't go iceberg, people. Be brave and dive. Escarole, spring mix, it's all good. Throw blue cheese on it. Throw feta cheese on it. Because we love cheese.
Because we love cheese.
Any kind of salad. And what we love to do, which is great, is that you chop up, we love the wok. We use the wok like it's a frying pan. So we get out the wok, you chop up some chicken, boneless chicken breasts. You throw all kinds of whatever flavors you want, whether you want it to be Asian or Thai-like or, European or, any way you want it. And we cook the chicken. And then you throw it on top of a salad.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. I got some good recipes for the future now that we say that. I just thought about several things.
Stay tuned.
But exactly. But truly fresh, easy, And the flavors taste better.
Yeah.
The flavors taste better.
Absolutely.
I'm always.
You can absolutely tell a difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. Now we've tried the brie. Should we venture forth?
I think
I'm
we
going to
should
let
go
you.
on.
I'm going to let you break the ice, as it were.
Okay. That is just.
You won't be sorry. That's a
old
chunk of artichoke.
Look at that. That is just a beautiful piece of artichoke there. Are we getting that? Okay, and I'm just going to top it with a little more cheese.
Yes, because we love cheese. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, cheese in moderation, people.
Right.
As long as you do everything in
you know,
moderation.
it's all about heart health as well as enjoyment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to join you. This is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do all right? Did we do all right?
Oh, yeah.
And you know, remember, we like garlic and cheese. So we're garlicky in this one. If that amount of garlic scared you, you know, less garlic.
Because we used, what, about 6 cloves, probably?
We did. We
Yeah,
did.
so, you know, moderate it, you know, or modify it, as it were, a little bit, and, you know, it's easy to fix, you know, easy to go either way, and this is delicious.
That is really
Those
good.
artichokes are just so tender.
It works out great. And, you know, I sometimes make it crispier because I'm the kid, if someone burnt their toast, I'll be like, I'll eat it.
Now, on that note, though, what is the biggest kitchen fiasco you've ever had? If you had to think of one, because I think everybody's got them.
Kitchen fiasco. Oh, boy. I think one of the biggest kitchen fiascos was living in my studio apartment in New York City that only had a kitchenette, but you're throwing a party for 20 people, and the ability to get everything done time-wise is bad. There's no fiasco as long as it's filled with love. As long, you know, I haven't had anything taste so bad we had to throw it away. I've been lucky enough not to burn anything into oblivion. Sometimes my mother, when the kids were driving her crazy, she'd lose track of time, and things would go.
That's when you're eating that burnt toast.
That's right. Exactly. I like me some burnt toast. But I think really, for the most part, sometimes I love to pull out a recipe and I want to make something special and unique. Or I'll call home and I say, Mom, send me the recipe for your Lebanese spare ribs. Or send me she has an incredible berry cobbler, blackberry and raspberry cobbler. That, I mean, we used to have a raspberry patch in the yard, so
that's handy.
it was very handy. And so we'd get yelled at for eating the raspberries when it was time for cobbler.
Sure.
So I love, my mother was not the fanciest of cooks, but a hearty cook, things that tasted good. And when special times came, then she really cranked it out.
Yeah.
But I always enjoyed the taste of food, and knowing that you're eating good things actually makes you feel better.
Absolutely.
You know? It helps with digestion, it makes sure it's feeding all the muscles right away, and as a dancer, particularly an aging dancer, you want to make sure, you're not old, I'm old. It's in dancer years, 113. It's like dog years. God, don't do the math with dog years, it'd be terrifying. Make sure you eat healthy, make sure you take care of what you have in the fridge, and try to use it before it goes. Part of the problem is people buy fresh things with good intentions, and then before you know it, the lettuce is done, the vegetables are molding. Make sure you get to it. Plan your meals around what it is that you have fresh, and it makes it so much more fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. The most significant meal you've ever eaten.
Significant
That's
meal
not necessarily
I've ever
like the best food.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I think in terms of, well, I got a couple stories. One thing is that I didn't know about fine dining as a kid, and once we were in Pittsburgh, and my cousin, it was when the Pittsburgh Pirates were in the World Series, I was about 10. And my cousin Joe was the media relations director for the Pittsburgh Pirates, so met Sister Sledge, the whole 9 yards. Very exciting for a 9-year-old in the disco age. And we went to a restaurant, and truly, flavors I have never had before. I don't know whether it was capers or what it was. At that age, I didn't know. I do remember, however, that when the bill came, it was $600.
No.
I'm not joking. That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
That's insane.
And my parents were not the let's spend all our money on dining out, but that meal was impeccable. The service was impeccable. It was the first time I realized that food is an art form.
Yeah.
That dining can be this incredibly rich, traditional thing to me. Now, other impactful meal would probably be every meal with my parents, my mother and father. My dad was the guy who could have worked till midnight, but never missed a meal with his kids.
Oh, that's wonderful.
They wanted to be there with us all the time, and so really growing up was that our relationships and the day's events were built around the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter whether my mother made something incredibly fancy or whether it was easy 70s delish. It was the best times, really.
Yeah.
I think that's what I remember the most.
Well, it's so much about, your idea of like cooking with love and like, and making it matter for the relationships, just, putting your heart into it. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny because they weren't fancy eaters, so like a big thing for us on our birthdays, we'd want black olives. Now I have black olives from 6 countries in my fridge all the time, but at the time, black olives seemed like this miracle to a kid,
Sure.
The sophisticated taste for food was an interesting thing because I didn't like anything growing up.
Yeah.
I ate mayonnaise sandwiches for an entire year. My mother thought I was going to die of rickets. That's not a lie.
No.
She took me to the doctor. The doctor said, "Is he eating?" Yes. So I was a very picky eater. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to like things later in your life.
Absolutely.
That will really change the way you think about flavors and food.
You just have to be adventurous, I think. You got to be willing to try anything once.
Absolutely.
And I think usually, if that's your philosophy, it will surprise you and you'll want to eat it more
And
than once.
we're much less formal now, so I am not shy to say to a very good friend or a friend in general, "Can I take a taste of that?
Yeah,
I've never had that before. I want to know what that tastes like."
Yeah.
And I'm the first one to take my plate, and as gauche as it may seem on occasion, guess what? People learn to like something they didn't like before.
Yeah,
and that's the fun of food.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, on that note, thank you so much. And
My pleasure.
Todd Rosenlieb of Todd Rosenlieb Dance with baked brie and artichoke. I keep wanting to call it spinach artichoke
It's all
dip.
right.
It's artichoke dip today. Thanks for joining us and see you next time.